Here's me and my dad. I know what you're thinking. Why does this guy who has a white dad, but the fella's not blessed with all the blood and looks of a pan Asian? Okay, let's just rewind a little bit. Here's me and my father. My real father. My biological father. And in this picture, I was 2 years old. I was way too young to remember, but based on these pictures, we were a nice, little happy family. We did family things like going to the beach, going to Genting. I mean, which family never went to Genting together, right? But little did we know, my father wasn't feeling so well at that time. And not long after my second birthday, he passed away. So then there's my mom, my grandma, and myself. We got by okay. I mean, my mom works most of the time to support the family, while my grandma takes care of me. That was the way of life for the next 5 to 6 years after that. And then, mom met someone, a friend, at first. And it was the first time I ever met him, and the first time I met him, I thought, holy shit, it's Santa Claus. But that's all I knew about Christmases at that time. I knew it was meant to have snow styrofoam in Mine's Wonderland. There's a lot of red decoration everywhere in the malls, and there's always a big fat old guy with a white beard holding a bell called Santa Claus. This Santa Claus was different. He was real, and he became my dad. You guys know the song, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus? Okay, you know what? Let's not go there. Let's go here. Mom met Mr. Gary Davis on MIRC. Can you guys believe that? And a few months of chatting online, she decided to fly to America, where he's from, to meet him. And then they came back together, dated for a while, and decided to spend the rest of their lives together. That was when I became Nick Davis. He showed me a lot of cool things in life, like fishing, being cool with a Titanic t-shirt, and Christmas. He showed me the true joy of Christmas, and it's not about styrofoam snow or a red Christmas hat or an old uncle who asks you to sit on his lap. That's now illegal, by the way. Santa can't have you on his lap anymore. Christmas, according to my dad, was about the joy of receiving, but mostly the joy in giving. And of course, Sinatra's Christmas album, cinnamon-scented candles, pancakes and maple syrup, breakfast turkey and ham, aircon blasting at 16 degrees on full speed, and chocolate chip cookies. Dad always made chocolate chip cookies because, he said if I wanted a present from Santa Claus, I would have to put out a cookie and a glass of milk for him. But you know what? I always knew my dad just wanted a late night snack. I mean, he's Santa, right? We had a pretty good relationship as I was growing up, till I became a teenager. That's when it all started to go in shit. He has a way of teaching his son, and it was really not my style. I started to grow to hate it, And the older I got, the more we couldn't get along, and the further we drifted apart. I remember one time, we fought so bad we didn't even see each other for a year. By this time, I was already like 20 years old, and I moved out of my parents' house. It's funny hating someone, but missing them at the same time. So eventually, I went back home for Christmas. And, because you forgive and forget on Christmas. And I'm glad I did, because our relationship started to get better from there on. We made more effort to understand each other, treated each other with respect, and for the first time, I felt like having a dad. But didn't last. Soon his health started deteriorating because he was sick and his lungs were failing him. He was not in good shape and was showing early signs of dementia. And we all decided that, maybe he should go back home, America, where he's from, for better health care. And it's, a place that he's most familiar with. But this means he will be leaving Malaysia for good. I remember seeing him for the last time at our family home here, giving him the longest hug, watching him walk out with his oxygen tank and into the taxi that would eventually bring him to the airport to board a one-way flight to LA. I didn't know when I'll ever get to see him again. And when I do actually get to see him again, will he still remember me? But things were, just getting good between us. But just like that, Santa has left the building. So eventually I finally got myself to the States to see him, but that was like 4 years later. He was staying in a home where they have nurses taking care of him and all that. My sister, Erin, from his first marriage, warned me that Dad might not recognize me when I get there. But it didn't matter because I was prepared. But what I was not prepared for was, as soon as I walked in, my dad recognized me right away. It was like, what dementia? He hugged me so tight because he knew it's been ages since he last saw me. And it felt so real. I mean, he remembered stuff I couldn't even remember. It was just crazy. We sat down, we chat, and then suddenly it was time to go. But while I was at the door, I told him, "I love you, Dad." And he looked at me as if knowing this could be very well the last time we see each other. And he said this with his eyes staring into mine. And he said, "I love you more." My heart broke into a million pieces. 4 months later, he passed. I wish we had more time. I wish we went fishing more. I wish we spent more Christmases together. I miss you, Dad. So much.